Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, hello and welcome to this episode of Your Neighborhood's Best. I am Vince, and along with me is David, James, John, and today we have a guest, our good friend Art. He's a Renaissance man, artist. Just tell us about yourself, bro.
I thought this was a job interview, so like that's why I kind of wore the shirt and tie. And my
Gotcha.
USB cable kind of short, so otherwise I'd be facing the couch. And I don't think it's that kind of job interview.
Well, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Not yet.
We'll start there.
Years that I don't really know, man, because I stopped thinking that far ahead, man. But
Do you think we have 5 years?
yeah, we got 5 years. Where I see myself in 5 years is like doing the same thing, like more chickens though, and freaking growing food and getting off the system, man. Trying to get
Oh
off the
hell
system.
yeah, man. We'll dive deep into that. Before we go into that though, it is 9/11. So that whole thing happened. Do you remember where you were at when 9/11 happened,
I was in school.
James?
Same.
I was on my way to school. I was house sitting, and then I was on my way to school, and then I went to my house first to meet up with David. David was already at my house. He goes, "Dude, you see what the hell's going on?" I go, "What are you talking about, dude?" And he goes, "We're under attack." And he turned. I go, "What?" And then he showed me the TV, and then right when we were looking at the TV, we saw another plane hit, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And then we're like, "Yeah, we're not going." It was like our first day of college or something, and then we kind of just never went back to college after that. But
Never.
Yeah, I was on the same boat.
yeah, but
I was on the same
we
boat.
registered for the draft at the same time too, so it was like, we were
That shit was scary.
yeah, I was like,
But it's interesting how like nowadays, like you tell young kids, they're like 9/11. What was that? It's so long, right? So it's one of these things for us that like it's just it hits harder than like because I remember I was scared. I was like freaking out. I saw
I got
that thing on
patriotic
TV.
as fuck. Like, I was American flag, everything. I believed in this country like 100% back then. Yeah, man.
I remember considering enlisting before, and then when Iraq War happened, it was kind of like
Today's
oh,
non-alcoholic beer.
that's wild. Because it was like full escalated
Non-alcoholic
war.
whiskey.
It seemed like in the days after 9/11. So yeah, I feel you. It's
Yeah, I
crazy.
remember like turning out like the TV off and stuff, and just like listening to hear if like you hear any other bombs go off, because we just thought like planes were just gonna start falling out of the sky, like kamikazing us and shit. Gold,
Like,
gold.
oh yeah. Oh
Nice.
yeah. I
Yeah.
know. What happened?
So
to
some of us, some
Building
people think it's an
7, though?
inside job.
Building
You want
7.
to dive into that?
Yeah,
We don't know.
what's up with Building 7? Well, the thing is, how much can we talk about it here on YouTube? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
that's good.
suddenly it's like,
Well, I'm pretty sure they have their own conspiracy
I
stuff.
want to say apartment number 507 went down inconveniently
There's NORAD.
Uh,
NORAD stood
and then
down.
suddenly-
Maybe
one
by a
day
missile.
for that
and,
morning.
and it was based not in DC or New York. It was in Los
The
Angeles.
Pentagon
And it just fell.
crashed. That plane that crashed in the Pentagon.
Art,
right?
what are your thoughts on 9/11? Inside job, not inside job?
Dude, it happened, but like today I heard there was some kind of report that came out that that Saudi Arabia was connected to it. Yeah, I heard that on the news.
What news?
I think it was Rising. I think it was Rising. Yeah.
Okay, the hill.
The Hill, yeah. But,
Yeah, totally.
it's still mainstream news, you can't really trust the news.
Yeah, the hill's pretty good though. But I heard too, like they had like some Saudi connection. It wasn't even like, why were we in Iraq? We were in Iraq for no reason. And we spent 20 years like in Iraq, looking for like these
Well,
terrorists.
yeah, I mean that was the whole. It made no sense when that happened, but they were all Saudi. All the hijackers, or like several of them, like 10 out of the 12 or however many it was. It was like a majority of them, and that's
There's
where.
people
But
still
that
in, like,
doesn't mean
jails
that
for
the country itself, even though it could be a coincidence. I mean, I don't know. That's the.
There's like drivers, like taxi drivers that like drove some of those guys that are in jail, like in
I
Guantanamo
totally
Bay.
Saudi had this happening. I guess that one doesn't work. Like I did not see that coming. Did Saudi? Did you guys saw this coming?
I didn't sound that. Bing, pow.
I just think that those dudes that did all that, there's a lot of preparation and thought process and getting something done. You know, it's almost like harikari, you know, like doing something crazy like that. You know, it's
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, what is that?
Say it
That's
again.
just
Say it again,
nuts,
James.
you know? Like, how do you do that? How do you even do that? Insane.
What do you think, John?
About 9/11, that
Yeah.
that a lot of questions still have not been answered by the family, right? Because the whole 9/11 commission report, they were like, "Hey, we still have questions. We need it." Yeah, so that's where I am.
Yeah. So either way, people died, and we at least remember
That
them.
Nick
you know?
Cage movie. Does anybody watch it?
That Fahrenheit. No.
No, it's not.
No, I saw the Bad Lieutenant Part 2 with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How was that?
It
How
was,
was
it was delicious.
Part one was pretty good.
Delicious. Was it like vulgar and obscene? Is like the first one?
Yeah,
More
it might be a little bit more.
pushing it a little bit further.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Nicolas Cage, and he said that was one of his favorite movies to do too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have
Nick
you guys
Cage.
ever seen that movie, Mandy?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Mandy.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because that's the other movie. He said that he picked like a handful of movies, and that was one of the ones too.
He likes extreme ones.
Yeah,
What you like about Mandy?
Shoot, man, the LSD biker cult, freaking, freaking
Oh,
scared
yeah.
the living shit out of me, man.
Yeah, that soundtrack was amazing. Like the
soundtrack,
beginning,
yeah.
like how it starts, man. I'm like, dude, that's a
King
perfect song
Crimson.
for. Yeah, I was like,
Rock and
man,
roll. It's a rock and roll movie.
yeah.
I like that. He says that thing, that one guy, he's like, you come from Jove. Or he says something about Jove. And that made me like think like, what is he saying? A Jovan warrior. It says a Jovan warrior. And I'm like, what is that? A Jovan warrior. Sounds cool.
Like, who was the
Moving on.
actress that played? Like, because she comes out in a pretty good chunk of movies too. Like the wife of Nicolas Cage in Mandy.
Hmm.
Like,
The
she's a
wife
good
of
actress. I've
Nicolas
seen her
Cage.
before, but I'm always hard with like names of this. But I like Mandy.
All right. Didn't you have like some segue or something, James? You were talking about to like go into like spiritual lessons.
Oh,
and
I was just
concepts?
talking about, I just thought like, so people that do stuff like this, we've heard this story that, there's something awaiting people in the afterlife of some sort. Like, so there's a transmigration of souls, though. I think that's a more interesting thought. Instead of you go to the afterlife and it's heaven or it's hell, binary, one or the other. Instead, it's you continue on and your soul migrates, right? It goes somewhere else. So, like what do you guys think about that? Like, can you prepare for something like that? Is that
Well, like
what you-
reincarnation kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess some people believe you got a couple lessons to learn first before you can, I guess, transcend. Or I'm not sure what the goal is. What the main is it? Heaven? We're all trying to reach. Is it? I mean, because some people believe that we're in hell now. This is hell, and then what we do now will determine where we're going after this.
Yeah, some type of utopia. Right? Like when you die.
I mean, because things aren't that bad right now, though. I mean, we got like crazy puppet master monsters like controlling the whole world, but like as far as we feel and know, everything's real, right?
Maybe Earth is heaven and hell, and it's your mind that's what's the difference between that.
Like Jacob's Ladder. Like, you ever see that movie? Where he's like, there'll be angels to some, demons to others. It all depends if you're ready to let go or not. If you're still holding on to the world, it feels like the demons are taking you. But if you're ready to let go, the angels will show you the way.
Oh yeah, I never seen that movie, but it kind of sounds
Scary.
like the Tibetan side of Buddhism. They kind of believe in it that way, I think, from what I remember.
I don't know too much about Tibetan. Can you
Yeah.
can you like just dive into that and just
Have you been into
explain
that?
it?
There's a Tibetan Book of the Dead. It's supposed to be, I guess, read when somebody's dying, and it eases you into death. And like, they talk about something like, yeah, you'll see the light, and then you'll see this darkness. Like, don't go into the light, because like you'll go into the light and become reincarnated, and then if not, then like you're gonna be faced with all these demons. But turns out all these demons are you. Unless you master your mind, like you won't know these demons are you. And then like whatever it is, reincarnation or something. I don't know.
So it's like oh, I picked to play the game again by accident. Oh shit, I should have been paying attention. Like, how did we pass that last level?
It's like, damn, I shouldn't insert any more coins, man. I'm done.
So I still got $5, but my mom's saying to go.
Have you all seen any of those like on the social media where people are acting like they're like in a game and they're like walking and they're like, oh, choose a thing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, they do the bump into like.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
NPCs, man.
I like the idea though that the demon is you. Like there's an idea there that I can abstract a lot of thought from that.
Yeah, I like that part too. Because I'm like,
But it seems like all you gotta do is think really highly of yourself at the end, and then you're cool, you know? Or nah, I was
well,
a
sort
shit.
of, right?
Boom.
Because like it could be your past demons that you kind of like, oh man, this guy's still there. Look at him, god damn it. But he's like, kind of looks like me. But is he me? Oh my god. Like, do I need a
Like Darth Vader. Like,
yeah.
the shadow self.
Yeah, because like I mean, like you always have like demons somehow, right? Like I mean, it feels like, yeah, man. Is this holy? Am I morally strong right now? Or am I because you know some people might be shooting up drugs all day and think it's morally okay. But
Or
is that demons? Is that a demon thing? Like
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Shooting up drugs all day, is that necessarily an evil thing? You know what I mean? I know
Get
it's an
it, Dave.
addictive
Get it,
thing.
Dave.
I know it's
Get
not
it.
living your life right, but is that
Exactly.
evil? You know what I mean? Just saying.
yeah, some people are hooked. Some people
Yeah.
are.
Like,
Like,
No,
hey,
it's
you
not
have-
evil. And
Good
in
people
some
with
ways
bad
it's
problems.
helpful for some people.
Yeah.
There are some
if I want to shoot up, I'm gonna shoot up, dude, and it's not evil.
Perhaps evil is
Don't you-
subjective, and so is good. Those things are probably subjective, but we all have kind of like a gray area that we all fall under. Like, do not kill. Like every religion, I think starts like Christianity is like thou shalt not kill, and then in the Theravadan side of Buddhism, in that tradition, like the first rule of training is to refrain from killing.
It said just hold back from it. You know, you just gotta, you know, don't kill all the way. Just kill if you need to.
Like, yeah, I guess the Buddhist side is like not so like, straightforward. So if a mosquito's trying to bite you and you like accidentally kill it, then oh well, if you refrained and then that fool kept trying to attack you, so you had to freaking do it, man.
Had to do it. Oh, you mean all
yeah,
life?
it's like
All
stepping
life.
on
Oh,
ants,
damn,
right?
then we're
You're-
like murderers, like constantly.
But that's the thing, like these people that probably, maybe hypothetically 9/11, those same people maybe see other humans as ants. You know what I mean? And those people step on these
they didn't
ants.
refrain. They didn't
Yeah, they're like-
refrain. As
yeah,
I
they're
was
like
saying. They
morally-
didn't even attempt to refrain.
No.
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like,
It's where
squashed.
you're held in the food chain, I guess, in one's eye.
No, real quick, you said Theravada. Is that
Yeah.
distinguished from Tibetan then?
Theravada, yeah.
Theravada.
Oh yeah. There's many different of what do you call it? So like Buddhism is kind of like, punk rock or rock and roll, it comes in waves. Like you got like your first wave, that's Theravada.
Subgenres.
You got
Yeah.
your second wave, like it went to the UK and back to the US again, and now it's freaking Mahayana. And then the third one is what's it called? The Tibetan or Himalayan Buddhism. Yeah, I forgot exactly what it's called. Vajrayana or something like that. Yeah.
So that would be third wave though, at that
third
point.
wave, right? That's like the voodoo glow skulls, man. Like you're listening to the satellites, and then
Yeah.
now you got voodoo glow skulls.
Changes that shit
Interesting.
up, dude.
What about when it gets to Japan and it turns into Zen Buddhism? Is that like fourth wave at that point, or is that a different subsect altogether? Or?
That's kind of like Norwegian death metal. Like it just kind of like happens to be like their own thing because it's off of the Mahayana school. It has a little bit of a Shinto, but at a point in time, I know that Shinto and Buddhism was kind of like clashing because like Japan
Mm,
wanted to like well, not everybody in Japan, but some people they preferred their more native tradition. But
sure.
then like the Buddhism doesn't seem to colonize. What it happens is like it seems to adopt local folk traditions like in Thailand, there's a lot of Hindu too. Like that's not really mentioned a lot, but yeah, a lot of Thais like they don't consider themselves Hindu, but they'll believe in like an entity like Ganesh, which they call Prat Pikanet.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. Say it again. No.
That's wild.
Prat Pikanet.
I got to thinking that religion, what if religion was like is like a form of technology, really? Right? It's a pathway for ideas.
It could be because like in the Thai part of Buddhism, some of the amulets that they make is considered like a spiritual machine, kind of like the yantras are kind of like seen as like a spiritual machine.
Like a key or something.
Yeah, like I guess like yantras or sakyan, like when they do the tattoos, it's similar to like the West, how they have seagulls, like symbols that represent like something that might protect you.
There we go. Sorry, my button was all screwed up. Yeah,
That's
the whole reincarnation thing too. Like, have you ever done something in your life? You're like, oh, I'll get it next time, and it's like something like a life decision. like, oh yeah, next time around when I'm in my 20s again, I'll do that better. I've had those feelings before. Like, oh, next year, like, oh, I'll do next year again. Like, next time I'm 40, or like,
It sounds like my dating life.
yeah, I'll try better next year. But
It's like, hey, I'll stop getting into that abusive relationship with like that bipolar woman that like beats me up. Like, I don't know why. Like, I end up. I'm just making an example because like people tend
She'll
to like
stop.
follow
She'll
a
stop.
pattern. She'll stop, man. The next one I could save her. I know it.
I'm married, so I gotta go. Hey, John, how's this season? How's this season
It's
going?
like the wind, right?
He's like, oh, they're all into this now. Like, wow. Or what is it? Old
I
school.
don't
He's
know,
all,
but
maybe they're into something really cool that I don't even know about.
I
Yeah,
stay away from crazy girls. I always have.
it's hard, man. But
I know I like the crazy ones too.
Right, but I guess that's what like Buddhism probably saw. Whoever like thought about Buddhism, they saw like the cycles that people kept repeating. And ultimately, man, I can compare it to like modern day psychology because like the whole like childhood trauma, we're kind of raised like kind of, screwed up. Sometimes our parents weren't there. They were like working too hard. They weren't really there for us or whatever it is. Like when I found my tradition, going back to like, which I'm Thai, but like the funny thing is like we're kind of like totally appropriating like ancient Indian culture. We're like dressing like how they used to dress. We're like reading the language that they used to read, which is Pali. It's a
Oh,
cousin
that's
of
interesting.
Sanskrit. Yeah. So like
Well, I
we're
guess it's
totally
just
doing them.
whatever communicates better, though.
Yeah, I guess the whole point is like it's closer to like the original teaching of the Buddha. And so going with that, like in order to be a monk, one of the first things you have to do is ask your parents for forgiveness. And like you already know if you're gonna ask
Mm.
your parents for forgiveness, that's you forgiving your parents. Like that ends a lot of like bullshit. You might, maybe you're mad at your parents and like you can't let it go. So
It sounds like AA because
yeah, I
the same
guess it
thing.
is.
It's like clearing the wreckage of one's past, and it's pretty much you saying you're sorry. You hitting up and go, hey man, I fucked this person over that time, and if you're
Right.
able to let that go,
AA
you're
is
able to
borrowing
move
that.
on.
AA is
But I mean,
borrowing that.
but AA pretty much
Parents are
adopt
human too.
from a lot. AA like
Yeah,
literally adopted from different religions and different things. They tried what worked.
yeah, AA is about finding a higher power, and they took the word God out, which is kind of like what
Yeah,
Theravada Buddhism is. Like there is no like God. Like,
Right.
if you believe in like a Brahmin, which is like a holy father, then like, all right, maybe you believe in a God. Like you could believe in a God and be Buddhist. But what if you don't believe in a God? Then there's karma.
Mm.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
you
almost
As I
like the
get older,
Jewish
I
religion.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess I've always kind of been religious. I go through phases, but I think as I get older, I just see a lot more evil. So it leads me to believe that there's more good somewhere, you know? And then, I mean, you see it in like, just love, you know, if there's something you love or someone you love, or it's, you know, I have children. So obviously like, that's like my higher everything, you know? And, you could see like, man, this thing's so cool. This thing's so, you know, this magical feeling that I have now that that never existed before. You know, that's something huge. And then you see all this like terrible shit that's going on in the world. So it's like, man, there has to be something that can create something that's great in life. And, you know, eventually we can get rid of this evil, you know?
I don't quite see it. I can see where you're coming from with it though, but I like to extract the notions of good and evil, because I think that
Yeah, I know you don't.
some of it can kind of get into mucky waters where you don't see that good comes from evil and evil from good. And
Yeah, it's
all
all
this
yin yang
stuff.
thing,
So
but
what
you
what
can't have
are
one
they?
without the other. That's pretty much what, you know. So
Yin
when
yang.
I see like the human trafficking thing, that's all that we're seeing like every day, and all this like terrible shit that's going on, you know.
Cruelty,
Yeah,
but is it an evil as a nature? Like
I think cruelty
there's
is more
there's a
evil
soil, there's a soil that is evil soil, like the earth itself is this evil part of it, like
Aladdin's
Mordor, right?
curse.
To use Middle Earth, Tolkien, it's like dirty soil. I don't think that exists.
I condemn this.
It all is producing life.
What about a nasty oil field?
Even a parasite,
Nasty one.
even though it is
Nasty one.
hurting
What about like a
conflicting its
porter
host,
potty,
is
like where they
still
dump all that
thriving.
shit? Is that evil?
Toxic waste.
No, I don't think any of it's evil. No, I think it's cruelty. I don't think cruelty is what is.
That
I
blue
don't think
liquid is
that's
cool.
the evil.
Cruelty is not the same as evil. Right?
Yeah, I don't think they're the same thing.
So,
Mine's evil.
which one do you like better, cruelty or evil?
I think they're kind of like close to each other, man. But you know,
They're
Tell
cousins.
me.
I guess I
Tell
prefer
me.
evil. Nah,
That was a very evil.
They are they're those two dirty cousins that fuck everyone.
I don't know about that, man.
I don't know, because
I mean, they would probably know those guys though.
but I see what you're saying, because you could be cruel, like breaking up with someone, right? Let me go back to that.
Yeah,
Be
it's
like,
like
oh, he was so
Spirit Comes Face
cruel.
and dog
He
shit,
was
you know?
so cruel. But evil could be like, hey, let me get this thing and just like torture you or something, right? That could
But
be.
cruelty is the same thing. Like, that's cruel. You're being cruel if you keep doing
Yeah,
the same
so
thing.
but that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's beyond cruel.
It's taking pleasure out of what you're doing too, right?
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, one person could see cruelty as one thing, but me as like, oh crap, it just didn't work. I wasn't being cruel. But then other people are like, oh crap, this is cruel. And
Well, I think the best thing you should do,
that's what I'm getting. I'm just
the best thing you should do is be strong, be healthy.
All right,
I've
there
been
you
going to
go.
the gym lately.
How many push-ups?
I've never gone to the gym really ever. I mean, I did here and there, just pretend bullshit, you know, like I'm gonna do like some sit-ups and fucking, then I'm gonna drink 240s after, and then you know, I kind of did that for like nightly, and then but now I'm actually like, I started just doing crunches. I'm like, I want a 6-pack for my birthday, you know. I did a month, and then I got into the fucking smelling salts all silly, and I was like, I'm gonna do this shit, and then I just started exercising every fucking day. And now I'm just like trying to like, don't get all into it, dude. You don't want to be all big and buff, but it's like when you don't exercise a day, you feel like gross and like sick kind of now. And it's like, I'm like, oh man, like I'm too far in.
yeah, man. I was thinking today, like, hey, man, what's the best birthday present you can give yourself? And then I thought about it, and I was like, the best birthday present you can give yourself is a PR, or maybe your runs, or maybe like on your lifts, but something, a personal record.
Yeah, and that's what I
You
guess
have
I
any?
did.
You have any
I
personal
wanted the
records?
6-pack, and now my fucking 6-pack goes up to my fucking neck.
Wow.
No, it's not. It's not. I still got a lot of work
That's
to
a
do, but
huge pack. Oh damn, he's showing it, folks. I'm not seeing any pack. I'm
Not yet.
seeing a keg.
not yet. But before
Seeing a
that used to be
keg
beer
there,
fat.
though.
That used to be beer fat, and
You
now
know,
now it's getting toned.
yeah. it's
Take
getting
my
toned.
word. Take my word.
But this
for
guy
it.
right here,
It needs-
Art has something to be
You're
to be,
probably
recognized.
under. You're probably at or under 20% body fat by now, though.
Yeah. No. Now I'm like gotta start doing my pecs, because if you don't work your pecs out and just your abs, you start looking like Brittany Griner. You know, like you're fucking like you got your tits cut out and shit, dude. It looks all weird.
Yeah.
So you need to like get that muscle. So it's like, you know.
Isn't it interesting to think that your muscles, and David, you have a medical background, like your muscles are not attached to anything. They are just, it's just tension. Everything is just kind of woven up. And that's what you, everything on your human body, like nothing's,
Your muscles are attached to like tendons, and your tendons are attached to bones.
and they're attached to bones, right? But nothing is really like, everything's kind of like,
I think there's a whole song about it.
Tightly woven up. Nothing's like keeping it all together other than
Well,
tension.
no, I mean your bones have to get stronger to hold. The stronger, the heavier muscle, because muscle
Right.
weighs. So
Yeah.
just by the nature of it, your bones are going to get stronger too.
Your bones is, that's what I mean. So
No,
you get,
but-
it's
but-
good
but-
to get
but-
healthy. It's
But,
good
but
to get
also,
healthy.
also it's diet and more of the physical activity you're doing, especially with some of the stuff you've done, Art, like with
Get
your
some PR.
eye and stuff. Like I'm sure you could
Yeah,
talk
man.
about it more.
Show off that chest, bro.
Yeah,
Do
on the
you-
right that you've been
Sure,
doing.
yeah.
Sure.
This guy actually has done the work and shit. I'm barely on the beginning of my workout journey.
Well, you want me to get butt naked right now, or what?
So
What?
let's
You
talk,
just
let's
got out
talk
of the shower,
about
right?
Or
See
what do
those
you
glutes.
do? Or do you do like a combo, kind of like supersets,
I don't know why you got dressed.
or do you do like every morning, or one time a day, 2 times a day, like an hour session? How do you do it?
Shoot, I straight up, I'm addicted to Muay Thai, and you know,
Mm.
after becoming a monk, it was kind of hard, man. Like that 1-2 week, I came back, I was eating like a pig. Maybe because like we were fasting so much, but man, I got like fat. Like I saw like freaking people were telling me like, hey, dude, you're getting freaking kind of fat. So like, yeah, man, I
Get to slow down.
this new gym opened up, Left Hand Muay Thai. So
That
like,
means they care.
what?
No, that means they care when they're telling you you're fat.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so freaking yeah, man, I was training like, in the mornings, and it was they had like a Muay Thai class which is more technical. They teach you like a lot of like the basic, jab cross, all that stuff, but also there's like the counters like catching and slipping. And like I guess this gym is a lot more technical than a lot of other gyms cuz like they actually teach you like, how to clinch and slip people. But yeah, I started training like twice a day again.
How long you been doing that for?
Shoot, I think I only started for about a month ago or ish. I had stopped for 2 months. Actually, I was still kind of training like once or twice a week, but yeah.
How long were you doing before you were doing the jumping into the monk stuff? Because you were doing it before, right? I remember seeing some of your videos. I think I saw one since you were talking about your birthday. I
Yeah,
think
you're
on
like
your birthday,
boot camp or something, right?
where you had to do the kicks so many times for each year.
Oh yeah, I did the 36 kicks on both legs.
Yeah, that looked pretty intense because it wasn't like you're baby kicking something. you're
You got
fucking
killed
swinging.
tenants, huh?
Yeah, it looked intense. Huh?
Yeah, that felt good, man. I remember like I was like I can't wait to do this. And like that whole week I was like stretching my legs. I was like, shadow boxing my kicks. Like I'm going to do these 36 kicks, man. I'm not getting old. I'm not getting old. Yeah. That's what it is, man. Like I'm also into yoga. So like that, that moment when you're stretching where you hit that point of pain, I like listening to this guy, Dr. Andrew Huberman. Are you guys familiar with Huberman?
Not me. Honestly.
Maybe I've seen him on Rogan. I think. I think I hear Rogan talk about him actually a lot.
Yeah, he comes out in Joe
Okay.
Rogan a couple times. But yeah, I guess like
Hubes.
when you stretch and you feel that pain, yeah, you actually got a lot more. But your neurological system's telling itself like, hey man, stop, like you might get hurt. But like you actually got a lot more. So like training it, pushing against that pain allows you to like stretch more because then your body understands that threshold. Something like that. I'm not a doctor. But
It's
yeah.
like doing the splits, right? You kind of have to
Well, it's like I guess muscle
hand
memory
down.
almost. Muscle memory.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm working out this over and over and over, so I better be ready for this over and over and over.
Stretch it out a bit. Stretch. All right, we're coming to the
Touch your toe.
halfway stretch. Everybody's
Everyone's stretched now. Ugh. That's what you were doing. I can't do it.
Oh man, that's a great movie though.
I love that movie, dude. I play karate every single time I watch that.
He's like, he breaks the bamboo.
I stand on my bed and like do like stupid kicks and then fall on my back.
Is that the one where they're stretching his leg, like they're pulling and they're like, they're like doing right?
Kickboxer. This is the best movie he was ever in. Honestly, it really was.
Oh yeah.
There was this 80s movie that early 80s Cyborg. I like it personally, but that's a
Oh,
different
Cyborg was
kind,
awesome.
I like
different
it too.
kind of genre. But he's like, you want me to kick
Yeah.
a tree?
Universal
Kickboxer.
Soldiers.
Dude, I had
This
one-
is really Art. Would you say this is kind of more like realistic style traditional training where you would kick a tree kind of to practice those kicks?
Totally, yeah, that's what they do in Thailand. But here's a random story, man. So like when Jean-Claude Van Damme, he went to go train for that movie, he trained with this guy named Kru Puck, who was my first teacher. And I'm gonna go grab a magazine with him on it right now.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Crew Puck.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's
but I
the. I
think,
wonder if that's
you're
the
forcing
in
him to
the
kick these
glass.
trees
He
if
puts
you
his fist in the glass.
Oh yeah. No, I think kicking trees goes because like that's all you have. You don't have a bunch of punching bags around.
Nice.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Like I
he
will
trained with
fuck
this guy.
you
Yeah,
up.
there's pictures of him at the gym, like with Jean-Claude Van Damme and this other fighter Malapet.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's wild. And you trained with him. That's crazy.
That's
Legendary.
Yeah, you know that movie's partially responsible for Muay Thai taking off.
Being as popular as it is. Yeah.
over here, yeah.
It's a well done film. I liked it better than Bloodsport personally.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
funny, 'cause
seems
that's what I was gonna say. Because a lot of times, like you get them confused, right? Because one's a tournament, and then once he's just trying to like revenge.
I mean, they're both kind of tournament, but kickboxing's underground tournament. It's all underground. Well, what is it? Frank Dukes in Bloodsport. That's supposed to be some sort of
Yep,
legitimate
Frank Dukes.
thing that really
Yeah, the real guy,
happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, it shows like all his awards and everything, and it shows like all his competition.
Did you see that he's a character now, like Mortal Kombat?
Andreas was all about that. He was like, oh man, Frank Duke is like this, bro, and he does this and this. And
No,
like,
yeah, but Kickboxer seems like it's showing you a real style. Well,
And
Bloodsport's just showing you a tournament.
Jean-Claude was in Street Fighter.
No,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, that's right. He was Bison.
No,
No, he was Guile.
that was
oh
Blood-
yeah,
all
no,
of-
it made
yeah,
no sense.
was Bison.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like, why is he him? It's like,
Raul Julia.
It's
Yeah.
funny though, right? Like Bison, and then you like Raul Julia when he's like at the end stages of AIDS.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, it's supposed to be this huge
it's
stuff, dude, you know?
showtime.
Yeah.
I'm like, how come they make Thai people the bad guy, man? Like, fuck.
He was a great actor though. He kind of like pulled it off.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, hey man, they don't kind of look the same from the game. You know
Yeah, right. He
Yeah.
wasn't Gomez no more.
what I mean?
I'm like,
Yeah, because even Blanca looked cool. You know, like
Did
that
he?
Monster.
I don't
Yeah,
agree
he's
with
like
I
that.
don't know.
I don't agree
I
with that
think he looked
statement at
that
all.
cool. I really don't
I
like
think
where
that's
that-
where I was. That's where I checked out. I saw in the trailers. I was like, this is terrible. I don't want to watch this. That's what you're gonna make Blanca look like? Not like a beast. Not like a crazy. Even like-
guy with green juice all over him.
Yeah, like he looked like Lou Ferrigno and Hulk. I'm like, what? Come on.
Hey,
Wait, hated them real quick.
Hey,
Get some more
that's
cans real
before
fast.
CGI.
We got a movie to make.
I was like, thank you guys for ruining my childhood by making that movie.
Oh, we didn't even go through Ninja Turtles yet.
Oh, but you know what? What about the live action Street Fighter? That was dope. I like that one. I mean, not the live action, the animated one, part 2. I don't know if anyone saw it. That's just me nerding out. I'll leave it there. That was rad.
It was a cartoon.
Yeah, you know, it starts off with Ryu versus Sagat, and it's in the rain. You don't remember that? Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
so,
91.
Yeah, I think that one. Yeah.
so Sagat is actually based on a real guy. Yeah,
really?
there's a Muay Thai fighter named Sagat, and he looks like Sagat from Street Fighter. Like he's based off of that guy.
Whoa.
Dude, that's dope. Is he really tall then?
He's,
Like a bald,
he's
really tall guy?
He's tall and bald.
Because he was totally shaved, right? Totally shaved head, not even a ponytail in the back.
No ponytail, yeah. But he doesn't have an eye patch though.
That
He's
doesn't
not-
terrify you?
That's scary, man.
He just looks over all silly. Like,
He doesn't even look like a dude, man.
He's a
and that guy is based off
Nephilim.
of your
He's
guy.
a Nephilim.
That's after he's in AA. He has a cup of coffee in his hand, and he's all.
It looks like they use like what is that? Like that clay that kids play with.
That's like the masked
Yeah.
little brother or something.
Yeah. But that's before like we had any AI doing everything.
That's a little animal behind you.
Real.
Hey, so there's a bunch of weird shit that go. You can pretty much have any animal in Texas, right, David? Like
it
the
seems
animal
that
laws
way.
are.
I see things on the news all the time of them finding like a tiger in somebody's
What
backyard.
animal would you get? You can get, since you could get any animal. What if you had the cash to like house any animal? Which one would you get?
I mean, to house and have it here, like, I mean, I'd love to have like a panther or a jaguar.
Just chilling.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd have to have the proper cage and
Papers.
maintenance for it. But it'd be pretty badass. Oh, what I was reading the other, actually, when I first came to Texas, I saw this thing, and plus we were looking to get a pet at the time, and I think that's how I stumbled upon it. I was looking like at shelters and things to get our dog at, and I found this thing online, and I thought it was like a joke or something, or not real, but on cloning pets, like you could,
I think
like
I've
we
heard
are
of
in the day and age where you could pay to get a pet cloned without spending something totally ridiculous. I mean, it's still not obtainable for me, but for $50,000 you could clone a dog, a cat.
So is it like weed where they just cut off like a paw and just plant it and screws?
Yeah,
I
they
just
said, a bio.
it's like a biopsy.
Biopsy.
Yeah, it's a biopsy.
So you could have like a billion of like one animal. Like if you wanted to clone the shit out of like one dog.
It's like
Skin
that Simpsons
biopsy sample
episode.
that your veterinarian would take.
Oh.
All adorable. So basically, to get to this point where you're going to get a clone,
They're
all we
clones.
need is a
Let's see.
small skin biopsy sample that your
Thoroughbreds.
veterinarian would take. It's
Just look
very,
at
very
us.
similar
We're
to if you've
clones
ever had a mole
Bunch of
removed on
Rory
your own
Calhoun's.
body, Lindsay.
Okay.
So that's all we need. And your veterinarian will take 2 to 4 samples, and it's $1,600 to be able to store the DNA forever. And that just gives you a peace of mind and almost a little insurance policy that your dog, cat, or
And that
horse
horse is attacking the
There,
guy. He's like, help me.
by the size,
Look at-
you know.
They're
yeah,
lying.
that's
It's just
them.
Baby Rico here, it's
Baby
it's
Rico
funny
still
because he's
alive.
very smart since he's born. You know, he stand up in kind of 15 minutes.
Another
start
Rory
nursing,
Calhoun.
20,
He's
25
like, we're gonna
minutes,
stop
start nursing
cloning.
him
Just
there.
standing there.
Acting like have a
Standing
little
there.
attitude already.
How could I?
And no, he's a very fun baby to be around. And you can see he's
Do it, though.
running in the
Just look
pasture and
exactly the
changing
same, right?
leads and look around and the tail up.
What was that?
It's really
I mean, it would just look exactly the same. I mean, with the traits, like, I mean, what?
Like, I mean, how's it gonna be like the same as your old pet? Because like that pet had that experience and like some
Exactly.
of the
It's not. There's a disclaimer on their page where they're saying it's not going to have the same personality.
Not gonna remember
But-
shit.
It could be a little bit different, but other than that, as far as the genetic code, would be identical.
No,
That-
you have to
that's-
yell at the
that's
dog
market.
as much as you yelled at the last dog.
He's like, this one humps my leg more than the other one used to hump
Yeah.
my leg.
Or you just
You
as
know?
dumb as the other dog.
No.
There's
Have
There's
y'all
something
have,
wrong with this one.
have y'all
There's
seen
something wrong with this one. Or
this,
or it's like, oh, I fucked up with that dog. I'm gonna get this dog right. You know.
You didn't think I would finish beating you. I'm gonna beat you some more now.
But they're not clones in this one. They're just they're a litter of puppies. That's why I didn't comment on it. I was trying to not break your heart, buddy.
You know who it reminds me of?
Angie?
No.
Lassie?
No,
Santa's
no,
there,
no. A person. You know who I mean.
Snoop
The one who's
Doggy
always
Dog?
walking and
Bob
standing.
Barker? David Brenner?
No, no. The person who's always standing and walking.
Rory Calhoun?
That's it. You stay with me. You're the
little
pick of the
Rory
litter.
Calhoun. Y'all remember? I don't know if you don't remember.
I remember
that.
every Simpsons by
The
heart.
continuity. Why I'm bringing it up is that in the end of the episode, all of the dogs stand up, and he can't tell the difference between any of them. And
Like
in
Sparky.
the end of the
Yeah,
day,
that was
like,
used.
wait, I thought that was your special dog, Rory Calhoun, your little dog. It just, and then when they all stand up, they all do the same thing. And was there any difference between them? And I don't think
But
the whole
did you get the
cloning
moral of
the
the
cloning
story?
pet, the cloning, I just bring it up to back to the cloning thing. It's like, that's crazy, guys. Like, your love for something has to end also.
Well, so you're
Is it
saying
I know
cheaper
that
than
might
a
sound
than a
dark. That
full-blooded
might
animal?
sound dark, but that has to happen.
so
Like,
you're a
you can't
no.
seeking,
No on cloning.
Yeah.
seeking it.
Because this is all your preference, Jamie. You're a no, but do you have a dog right now?
I don't have a dog now.
No.
I have
So
two
you can't
dogs,
comment
bro.
on this. You can't comment on
This
this.
is
But I'm
deep in
also
personal
I've had dogs. I've had
Yeah.
dogs.
And don't you wish you had their clone right now?
Let me ask this question then
Lick in
on
your
the
face.
topic of dogs. So okay, you have a dog that passes away. How soon is it before you get another dog?
Immediately.
You, before they pass away. You
Right off
get
the
it
bat.
like a few months when they tell you they only
Right
have
after that,
6 months to live.
immediately.
That way you take right off.
We
Yeah,
had
and you do
two
before and
animals.
you do
One's gone.
immediately.
We need two. Otherwise, we're
Art,
not
what do
gonna
you
be
think,
able to
Art?
have
What are
two
your
again.
thoughts?
You just gotta stagger them out.
I'm like, I don't know, man. If you like, I'm not like religious, like, but you know, if you go to like Buddhism, then I would say like, you know, trying to clone the dog that died is an attachment, and an attachment might cause suffering.
I agree with the attachment idea.
Now, would you call that
Absolutely.
suffering cruel
No,
or
Real quick, John,
Art
what do you
and
think?
Vinny.
John, would you
Art
get
and
another
Vinny.
dog after your dog passes away?
Art and Vinny, if you both had like that strong chicken, would you clone it?
Nah.
No.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think. No, because you could always get a cool chicken, but
That's
you
a
breed
good
chicken. You
chicken.
know, because that's what I was gonna get to. Because cloning, because I was saying like, does it cost
would
as much
clone-
as buying like a full-blooded animal? Like, say if I got a full-blooded pit bull, and it died, and then it's like, man, that pit bull cost me this much money, but cloning it only cost me this much money. So now I still got a full-blooded pit
Oh,
bull.
that's a fascinating
Boom.
concept that probably will
And
become
then
a reality in the future.
Now I'm the guy who can afford to clone my damn pit bulls and
It was a
breed the
good
shit
pick.
out of them.
I think we should talk about this offline because I think we could create a business out of that.
Okay,
Shark Tank.
Just start with cloning the meat.
that's it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can
They're
keep
already
the same
working on
cow
it.
forever.
They're already working on it, right?
Going back to the cloning stuff, what I was thinking about this too, kind of, and I think I keep bringing it up almost on every single cast, but on that quantum entanglement, I started thinking about the other day, like with twins, you know, that are genetically identical. You know, they've always had that saying, you know, one twin's on another side of the country or something, the herd, another one has a feeling that something's up or that they got hurt or something's wrong with them.
A mental bond.
Yeah, the mental bond, whatever you want to call it. But the whole thing with quantum entanglement is basically two different particles that are kind of bonded to each other.
You're the same person.
Yeah.
at the
So
same
do you
time.
think that? So because I kind of started thinking about it, and if you have like other particles in another part of the galaxy, but it's the same particles as you, and they're binded by that quantum entanglement, could that be the same thing if it was with twins or?
Well, I think that just means that they've already cloned humans now. You know, if they're like, oh, we can clone your dog, we clone your animal, that means they've already did the human already
Well,
somewhere.
it's absolutely
There's
possible.
laws. There's laws. There's laws.
No, it's
against- they
done.
made
Yeah, there's
they-
laws, but there's
No, they've
laws
attempted
everywhere,
it,
but
and I'm
that
sure
doesn't
they
stop
still
Epstein
attempted, but
Island.
there's international laws to try to ban it because it was already starting to happen. But
There's
David,
so
I think
many
it's
islands
fascinating
out
what you're
there,
saying,
bro.
and I want to say, so there's obviously a movie that just won the Academy Award, that Everything All Together All at Once, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, that's pretty
But
good.
there was another
That sounds
movie
like a
that
big
came out
mess.
20 years ago, though. I don't know if anyone saw it, and I want to make sure it gets its roses, its flowers. It's The One. Did you ever see The One with Jet Li? Did anyone ever see that movie, The One with Jet Li?
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
It's the same concept,
I
right?
remember
Where
it
it's like
being big,
what
but I don't
David's
know if
saying.
I remember the movie itself.
Talk about it. What is the one? Because I don't think I've seen that one. But
Art,
I
do
saw
you
the
remember
cover
the
a bunch of
premise of it,
times.
or should I'll outline it?
just outline it real quick.
Go for it. I just remember
So-
the ending, man. That
yeah.
dude's fighting a bunch of
Where they're all
freaking.
fighting at the end. Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
set up. It's like a so Jet Li is a cop, and he all of a sudden just one day he starts getting a little stronger. He doesn't realize why he's getting stronger, and he like punches. He's like super strength, and then all of a sudden people show up from another dimension. And they say there's another you who's been killing all of the versions of you throughout every dimension.
Oh,
As they do that, as this
wow.
does it, they
That's straight up Rick and Morty shit.
gain all of the powers of the other versions of you. And there's only two of them left, and it's Jet Li and the bad version of Jet Li.
The Rickest Rick.
A really great concept. I was like blown away by the plot.
No, that's cool, man. I
Is
was
that the
thinking
one they
about
fight like in some tower? I think I saw like
Yeah,
a trailer.
that's
They're
what
like
Art
fight-
was talking about.
it. Like
Okay.
shooting their shots, like man, they keep almost
Yeah,
hitting each other.
'cause-
He knows
Yeah.
what he knows every punch I'm gonna throw.
Well, Jet Li is a really capable,
I know it's like a mirror image. Pink, pink.
It's like
pink.
Batman versus Owlman and Superman versus Ultraman. If you ever seen that part of like the comics or the animation.
Yeah, I saw the animation. It was like almost like a Injustice, but it wasn't. Like it was like an alternate universe, right? Or
The Crime Syndicate of America versus the Justice League.
yeah, because even Lex Luthor helps out the Justice League to stop like Ultraman and stuff
Right,
like that, right?
He's the good guy on the other side.
Yeah, so they're like, yeah, I remember that one. And then Batman's all like, I still have a heart. And then Batman helps out, and then like, but isn't that where like all the Flash has died? Like the Flash died?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I wonder if Bizarro.
Oh yeah, that
versus-
David's all into the Flash. You told us all about that one.
that's why he ran away. He didn't like that. You were bringing it up and not him.
He was too fast. He ran away in a flash. Well,
Hey, but what are we gonna say about the one though?
well, I'm gonna talk about this one time.
Oh, the
I'm just gonna talk
quantum
about this.
entanglement, right?
That's what it's about. Quantum entanglement. That's exactly why I was brought up. What are you gonna
That's
say,
it.
Vince?
Being two places at one time, two chicks at the same time, dude.
And if I hit this one's gonna hit it
Well,
too. And
I
if
was thinking
I
about
push
this.
man.
I was thinking about this one time, and I want to tell like a little story. This one time, I took acid one time, and I was living in this apartment. There's some people I knew. I don't know if it's cool to name names or anything like that, but
No.
I was frying with some friends of mine, and then we ended up going to like some party. One of my friends started dyeing his hair in the middle of it too, and I was like, "What's he doing, dude?" He's like bleaching his hair, and then like he kind of stopped, and then we looked at him, and like my buddy goes, "Dude, you look like an old man right now." And then I was like, "Oh, dude, why'd you say that?" Because every time I looked at him, I kept seeing that, like, because the hair like kept throwing me off. And then we ended up walking down. It was like in this town Tahunga where it's like really hilly and stuff. So we walked down and we ended up at a party somehow. And then that's a guy, dude, you're on acid? I'm like, whoa, like, dude, like, yeah, dude, like, chill out. And like somehow we all
acid?
a tab and a half. I always made sure that everyone did the same amount. So then we all split up and we all ended up in different areas. And I remember walking up the hill and it was raining and it looked like werewolf, like without. And then I got home and then and then we just waited for everyone to get home. And then this other buddy of mine came home and he's like, dude, it's so fucking crazy, dude. I was with these 4 chicks the whole time, dude, all on acid. And then like they all went by Tommy's and they flew over to the side and they all started pissing, dude. And like, fuck, I don't know, man. I'm just on acid, dude. It's really weird. And then like I just started laughing, dude. And then the next morning, then the same time, I woke up and I was like, man, I want to tell everyone, it's crazy. I used to get up in the morning and cook for everyone after a big long party like that. And I go outside, I'm like, fuck, it's snowing, dude. And I look around and there's snow everywhere. And I was like, I'm gonna tell everyone. I'm like, nah, dude, no one's gonna believe me because we were just on acid last night. So, but it snowed the next day, and that was that one time.
But was there like yellow spots in the snow?
Was there what?
Was there piss stains on the ground?
No, I don't know. Probably. It was a wild night.
Sludgesicles.
Somebody's.
My aunt and uncle ended up going up there too, and like they had their kids to show the snow. I'm like, oh hey, what's going on? And like I had to like wear sunglasses and talk my way through it to like, yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Art, do you have any crazy Burning Man stories, or did you even go this year? I know they had that flood and stuff. I know a couple people.
Yeah, totally.
I didn't go this year, but yeah, from everybody I heard they had a good time and the media's full of shit.
Yeah, that I heard it was like one day they were dealing with it and then it was kind of gone.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty bad, but I've been stuck in the rain there. You know what? It was fun. People were giving out food, and I got a grilled cheese, and somebody was jamming out. It was really like, the only thing is like wherever you put your foot down, your shoes, they're gonna get ruined. So like you gotta have trash bags to put over your shoes in order to walk around when it rains.
Yeah, my buddy DJ
Yeah,
went
'cause
this
you know they-
year to Burning Man. He
DJ
was
went?
on the show. He was a friend of the show.
What up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
nice. Go ahead.
yeah, I think, don't you know DJ?
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
No, I thought you and DJ knew each other.
Oh, DJ's my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said DJ went this year. He's been on the show before.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember when I first met DJ. I actually have a photo of that moment. I took
Oh,
a
no
photo
way.
because I know Todd, and I randomly saw Todd, and I was like, "Hey, bro, what up?" So I took a picture of Todd, and then I accidentally took a picture of DJ. So like I actually got the photo of like the first time I ever met DJ.
Wow, that's a magical moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I
that was,
asked-
Hey,
Not
bro,
all of us
DJ.
can say that.
I was like, "You got a burner name?" And he's like, "Yeah, man. They call me Narc because I look like a cop."
He's
Yeah,
like,
he
make
went
sure
this
to
year.
put
I haven't talked to
fucking
him yet
bags
about
over
it.
your foot. Did he put the bags over his shoe?
It wasn't raining, but I guess he has the flannel shirt and he wears the short. So like typical like narc look, you know.
He wore sandals the whole damn time.
Shoot, probably, man. That's the only giveaway that you're not a cop. Is like cops, they be in like running shoes for like no
Dude,
matter
you
what.
could be lifting like 100 fucking bricks, and he'll show up in sandals. It's like, dude.
I was like, what are you, Asian?
I get the feeling that this year's Burning Man was probably pretty dope, and that all the media hype around it with the Ebola and the rain,
And we're having a
and
peaceful
everyone that
protest.
comes out is gonna be like, dude, it was the craziest one ever. And you're gonna hear
That's
about
what I
it.
saw. That's what I heard, man.
It was the
Everybody
most
was
Burning
having a
Man
good time.
ever. Is
Right.
Burning Man an epigee of a Nephilim?
What's that?
Is Burning Man an epigee of a Nephilim?
Burning of a giant is what
Yeah.
he's saying, like a giant, an ancient giant human.
Angel.
It's kind of
Maybe.
like postmodernism. Well, that's what Burning Man is. It's like it's an experiment. It's postmodernism, and within
I listened to
postmodernism, when you take away like everything, you actually go back to tradition again. You actually go back to like primitive roots, the fire, the campfire, teaching each
I
other,
listened to
sharing stories.
conspiracy podcasts, and they're saying it's the new Bohemian Grove.
Nah, I mean like Bohemian Grove is like kind of stolen from artists by the elites, but like you know I don't know much about the whole roots of like Moloch and all that, but like I don't know, man. Burning Man is definitely not that.
Yeah, but the thing,
Man is
Do you
more-
think
yeah,
that elites are hijacking it and using
yeah, like
it for their?
infiltrating it.
yeah, big time because like they decided to become a social nonprofit, so like because of that, like they got to get all involved in like social politics, and like that kind of in a way, in my opinion, kills it because like when you say radically inclusive, that means everybody, like gay, straight, whatever, non-binary, like that includes everybody. So like, why do they have
That's
to
a place
say
to
it,
call
like
yourself all
84
that
more times? You know, like it doesn't make sense to me. Like, oh yeah, you're racist. If I already said I'm not racist and like everyone's invited, why do I have to say I'm not racist? That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's totally trippy. But the thing is, because
Yeah, if
like
you have to call it-
it's more like for rich people now and stuff like that. So people are like, oh, you know, only like rich people could afford Burning Man now. And then that's why, and then that Diplo guy kind of exploded it. Oh, I had to walk 6 miles in the mud, and then I had to get another like
And I got Chris Rock
hitchhike.
here.
So that's what like then the media's like, oh my god, it must have been horrible. Oh, someone died, but we don't know. We have to.
But I'm sure there's
Yeah.
only some voices.
I think
Some
the media
voices.
did a great job because Burning Man sucks, and like if you can't handle it, you shouldn't go. And like the ultimate thing is like the radical self-reliance. So like if you're gonna go to Burning Man, like you gotta have your tent, you gotta have your RV, whatever it is. Like you gotta be prepared for like whatever goes
And
down.
endure.
A disaster. Like if you go to Burning Man, you're ready for a disaster because you have all that gear. But yeah, man, Burning Man sucks. Don't go. Nah, Burning Man's dope. You should go.
But why'd you miss out this year? Was it like something, another event came up?
Dude, I kind of got hooked up with Nocturnal Wonderland, but still,
Oh,
like
nice.
anything as a Burning Man's just too much work, and like I don't really want to go if I'm not contributing, because like I just gone just to go, and like it's not the same. Burning Man's all about
Yeah,
creating yourself, creating things, and sharing, gifting. I mean, yeah, the elites they go, man. Like these art cars, they
You wanna be
cost a lot of
prepared.
money to build. There's a lot of like flaws. But you know what? Like what I like about Burning Man is it could bring rich people with like somebody that's lower income, it could bring like everyone together from like all over the world and all race, all class, whatever, gender, all that stuff.
What is the nastiest thing you've seen at Burning Man? The nastiest.
John wants to hear it.
Shoot, all bad. I don't know what's nasty. The toilet, probably the porta potty, like freaking.
Oh man.
Maybe this one time, because there's things you're not supposed to do, but
Here it
like you
comes.
get too drunk and like the pirate comes out, and I told the buddy like, "Hey man, I dare you to like skip around and run and pee." So like this dude starts skipping around like a fairy, like doo-doo-doo-doo. Like he like spins around in circles too, like. And like this whole time he's doing all that, he never wets himself. Like his pants never got wet. Like I don't even know how he did it, man. Like all drunk.
That's drunk
This
magic,
guy's
man.
got talent. Yeah.
So
Hidden talent he never knew about.
Guys,
yeah, sometimes
no
those
pee on
drunk
me.
powers. I used to have those drunk powers. I lost them.
It's like
Wow, man. That was a lot of water and you didn't spill one drop on yourself. Wow.
Impressive.
Amazing.
PR
Imagine
work
if you
you get me.
imagine if you put that effort into something else besides dressing like a pirate and dancing around.
I
holding
do
water.
like the idea. I do like the idea of like classes joining together, and where like it doesn't matter. Like they say in ancient Rome, in the city, like rich and poor were smashed right next to each other. Like nobody really. It was a
You mean like
thing.
Los Angeles?
Yeah, I mean somewhat, but there wasn't like fences and guard posts as much. It was kind of like a thing that happens. And there's a sense where
there's
if you see
RVs
it,
and houses.
do you ever wonder, like, okay, so you have high fashion, right? That's now emulating homeless looks, emulating a little bit of that. Have you thought about that? Like, it's kind of fascinating that, like, even if it goes away,
like
it
the
still
whole
has to come
jeans.
back. It still has to come back because humanity wants to be together. It's like water, like it snaps together.
dude, there's vintage shirts that they're selling for like $300 of like old Nirvana shirts that are used up or like holes in it. And then you got these ripped jeans that someone wore, but
Yeah,
they're
90s
like
is back right
vintage.
now. It's
And you're like, dude, someone's paying $600 for these pants. It's like, man, like I could have got a Swami wore them and be like, whoa, here it is, It's trippy, totally
I got a
trippy.
drawer full of pants like that.
Man, I got these jeans for like $60, but I'm selling it for $120 because I wore it out for you, man.
We should just do that. Just put jeans on for a ridiculous price and just see who buys them.
I was looking up for a vest because I want to make a battle vest to go to metal shows, and then I was looking at the price of a new one versus a used one, and I was like, that's crazy, man. A used one costs more than a new one. That's nuts, man.
That's a lot of work, because usually it's patchwork. You're like, oh, I went to that show, I'm gonna buy that patch, and that one's even evil. That name's so evil, I can't even read it. It's like fucking, and then you have to put all the little spikes.
Yeah, this is just straight up like an old jean vest. Like that's it, no patches on it
Oh
yet.
shit!
It's
Well,
like,
then, yeah,
and
you're
that-
getting ripped off.
That jacket's been Burning Man more than you have. That's why it's like that's why it's cost more.
It's done its years. It's done its time.
Right, headier than thou. It's been blessed by freaking shamans from freaking.
It's really old. Joe Biden
He
wore
was-
it.
Then he tells you the story. Then he tells you the story that you told. Hey, there was this guy that was pissing. He pissed on this jacket. You're like, oh no way. That's why.
Vintage.
It was like the Buddha sold this one to Jesus, and he sold that one to Muhammad.
You hear about that 70s show guy? He got like 30 years to life
Why?
for rape, two counts of rape.
Oh, that's horrible, man.
Yeah, you got
Scientologist guy.
like 30 years.
30 years to life, they said, but he's not gonna be 30 years.
So,
to life.
he's appealing it right now, but I know there's that Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. They're under a lot of fire right now because they wrote a letter to the judge, just saying what a good character he had. And
Yeah. I mean, I've had to write those letters before.
That's a letter of recommendation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Put your shirt back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that
He's
tie on.
like, don't put him in C block. Put him in B.
Damage report, damage control now for them.
I don't know, put him in D block down there. So
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah,
get
they-
his though, right? You going for rape? That's not you have a bad
He's a
time in prison.
Scientologist, too.
He's gonna have a bad time in prison.
He's a
I just got
Scientologist.
out of jail, man. I don't know what happens right away. Like they throw you in with the general population, you get your
Yeah.
ass beat, and
Yeah.
then they put you in PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of trippy how like the media and everybody has these actresses like by the nuts, right? Because you got Ashton and Mila coming like, "I'm sorry, we didn't mean it like that. Please don't do this to us. He's just our friend, you know. We're not saying about the victims. We got like it's like that they put them in this situation. If I would like for me, like I would have been like, hey man, I know the guy, and I was just doing a thing, man. But I don't
You have
mean
to
any
walk away,
disrespect.
dude. I've
But,
had that
yeah.
situation happen twice.
Well, I
Yeah, I'm
mean, they
not
got a
gonna
lot.
take back.
There's a lot more involved in their career than just a quick little. That's it, and that's all. You know, they got their careers based off of public
I'm gonna start
perception.
walking around with this in
So
my fucking belt.
that's why they're on damage control. Their agents are telling them like, you need to do something because we're getting paid off.
Well,
Of that, off of their
with them,
success.
it's not even their acting career. It's all the other funds that they got into the other business.
Right,
Especially,
yeah.
he has a lot of like venture.
Especially
capital.
Ashton.
He's-
Yeah, and he's got a lot of
He's
nonprofits
been one of the
too.
judges on like Shark Tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
like that.
BlackRock.
So yeah, it's all. I mean,
But
really,
I would never apologize to the mom. You know, I was like, you know what?
Well, if you
I
go
said
in
what I
deep,
said.
if you decide to go to an echelon, you have to stay in that echelon. If to lose it is to lose like what
Who
you
you are.
decided to be in. You decided to get to this club, and now you're getting kicked out of the club.
yeah. And well,
So
with all
Monster.
with
What
all
club
the
is that,
with all the dirty shit that George Clooney's been doing now, like once all that's coming out, and once he gets
Look at you, a
He gets
conspiracy
used-
boy now.
it's gonna be pretty crazy.
I don't know what's going on with Clooney. What
Didn't kill himself.
they didn't know.
It's accidental all the time.
I'm gonna. You leave George Clooney out of this podcast.
There's some names you don't want to hear.
Yeah, let's talk about Kurt Russell.
He's the only Batman for me. He's the only Batman.
He's
for
the
me.
only
We have a lot. We have a lot to talk about. And
Hey, spoiler alert, he was in Flash.
Spoiler alert, he's a dirtbag.
You just ruined the whole movie.
What do you mean these celebrities aren't good?
You didn't see
Hopefully
George
just trying to
Clooney going
raise
out.
money.
just gonna
Hopefully
have
the
to
Rock are
wait.
just trying to raise money, dude. That's it.
We just have to wait for the reveal. Like Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's waiting for their marriage date.
Oh, I love
Till
Kurt
next
Russell, man.
time.
Yeah, tell us why you love. Tell us why you love Kurt Russell.
He's just fucking
Tell us-
badass, dude. I love all his movies.
Tell us about the
Tombstone,
things.
fucking Big
Escape
Trouble
from
in Little
LA,
China,
escape
from
from New York.
hit after hit after hit. Even if it's a bad movie, you're just happy to see him in it. I can't even think about like what's a bad movie.
The Things.
I love that
Iconic.
movie.
You
Fucking
know
love
what's but you know what the very best thing he's ever been in? Goldie Hawn.
it. Ooh.
He did. He went there.
Oh, you mean Overboard? The movie Overboard?
Overboard, exactly. Yeah.
Where
He's
he
the only
put
one
that Jamaican.
You mean
capture.
Santa Claus?
Oh yeah, there you go.
She came out in Santa Claus. She was Mrs.
Yeah, she
Claus.
was Mrs. Claus.
I was all happy. I was like, yeah, I remember cheering. But yeah, like
But
like,
even Santa Claus was really good. Not thinking about it, I remember watching it last year.
you're gonna
he's
watch
actually-
it again this year.
He was like with the whole Mickey Mantle card, and then the it
I
kind
know
of
you
gives you
always
like
Mickey Mantle. I got you, Mickey Mantle card.
you got that's a car. I need the car outside. Here's the Mickey Mantle. But it's funny because it gives you the moral of like he's like married to some lady that's just like a dick to him, and he's like, "What are you doing?" Because he knows that Mickey Mantle car's like worth over $1 million, and his car is just a piece of crap, right? So, but the wife doesn't know that shit. So the wife like rips the card up. Oh, dude, it's not sneak whiskey.
Wow.
I know that guy. And then the witch right there too.
James got me a little toy of Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. I still have it. It's around the house somewhere. I got the T-shirt too. I also got
Oh wow.
Oh,
on my
cool.
wall so I can see it every day next to that. That's pretty badass. I just like that picture. I love that movie. That's like I think every like father should show their kid that movie. Like, what? You haven't seen Big Trouble in Little China with your son? And you get all like,
And you go,
all mad. John, have
I
you
like
seen
that
that
one
little guy? You go,
That Tarantino film he did was good too.
I like your music stuff, like the Bowie in the back and the Tool.
what the hell?
those records, those albums like that.
Vince's, yeah.
You
What?
read
Oh.
my mail.
Oh yeah, my yeah, those are my DMT friends.
Those are some good albums.
Oh, I love him.
I'm afraid of a man.
What do you think about the election? You think Biden for years or what? Art?
What election? There's not going to be an election.
I
What's going to
think-
happen is China and Russia are going to team up. They're going to hit Taiwan. They're going to come in, and then Biden's going to be like, you know what? This gives me executive power to still be president because we're in a time of great war, and we have to postpone this election.
And gay Obama is pulling the strings.
And then and then it's like, oh, and then he dies. Kamala comes in, and then she's like, you know what? I'm going to sign Michelle Obama because she'll run this world.
Big Mike's all, let me take
I don't know,
over.
man. What happened with Kamala is like they ruined her like career like sick. Like she got like no future no more. Like they did her dirty.
They just showed her dancing, so she got some black people vote.
And the thing is, she has a
Hip
lot
hop
of
was
she has a lot
made
of
here.
skeleton, man. She has
Remember
a lot
that, everybody. Hip hop was made here.
of- Tupac.
Wow.
That's one of her.
Pretty
That's her
wild in
favorite.
I'm like, I don't know, man. All that stuff seems like theater, man. Like I just can't like buy it no more. I can't spend so
100%.
much time like focus on that. I gotta focus on like what I could control, not the things that I can't control. So like I'd rather be working out and like trying to better myself because like all that stuff is just a distraction, man.
Yeah, get ready. Get your body ready. Get mentally and physically ready. Like farm life, man. Like everyone knows I have chickens. You have chickens too, right? How many chickens you got?
Right. I got 6, man. A couple of them died, but you know how it goes every year.
Yeah. You got to get break a couple eggs, to get a couple hens. I got
You get a rooster? You have
I
to get
got-
a rooster though, right?
like eight chickens right now.
Uh,
I got a cool chicken. He's a silky. He's a little badass guy.
cool. Silkies are dope. They're like kind of small, huh?
Yeah, he's like this big. His name's Bernie. He just walks around all
cool.
funny. Yeah, I didn't need another rooster, but I just wanted him so bad. I was like, I'm just gonna get him, dude. And then yeah, he's cool. He's really he'll let you pick him up. He's really he got a nice heart. I'll be sad when that one goes.
Right. I want a little teeny rooster, and I want to name that dude Napoleon.
Yeah, get a little yeah. If he has any roosters, I'll let you know, man. Well,
Sure.
thanks for coming
What
on
do
the
you do,
show.
like,
First
for-
off,
Oh, okay.
For sure. Thank
Yeah.
you guys for having me on.
yeah, dude. I wish we could talk a little bit more, but yeah, it's getting late.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Getting
bye
late.
everybody.
So late.
Yeah.
So
Well,
late.
Peace out.
we'll have to have you on another time, Art. Like maybe on our season 2 podcast.
Yeah, we have one more episode, and then on to season 2.
Sounds good, man. Let me know.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, Matt. Because like it's always cool to get like more ideas and other views from like people that show up.
Yeah, dude, we can talk forever. To be honest, I was like, damn, if we don't stop right now, we're just gonna be talking till fucking 12 o'clock midnight, and then
Yeah.
Straight up, and it gave me a chance to kind of like set my thing up, and like now I know I got to get like a longer USB cable and all that good stuff. So,
yeah, dude, I came in a rush. I was like, oh, like taking off my clothes and getting dressed as like as I'm putting on my computer, and it was kind of a rush show, but yeah,
so
man, thanks for
you
coming
can't
on.
come on naked, man. Then YouTube will freaking ban you guys.
I know.
Yeah, that's why we gotta say code words. That's why I'm like, oh crap, we gotta.
Yeah, that's why we gotta
We-
be careful.
We've been dinged for a couple of copyright stuff and things here and there, but
We're
we
learning.
have some work. We have some workarounds that we've been doing.
Yeah, season 2 we'll be way more prepared now, and it'll be something to be seen. But
Yeah, because we
alright.
all want to get mics too and stuff like that. So
Yep, upgrade
'cause
everything.
that setup you got is pretty dope too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hit me up anytime, man. I'm willing to offer my advice on what I know on recording and sound and video, because
Oh, nice.
that's what I do. So hit
We
me
should
up.
do a
whenever.
live episode at your place, like all of us when David's in town.
Oh shoot, hell yeah, that'll be a great idea.
Right. Yeah, well, I'll be in
Yeah,
town sometime, most likely October, most likely end of October, early November.
Right, we could fuck with that OBS studio.
That'd be neat.
Yeah, because that'd be cool. Like set up like some seats and some mics and do that shit right there. Because we can
Yeah.
always use our phones as different like shots of cameras and stuff. And then just
Oh yeah,
edit it
definitely. No, it'd be fun. It'd be really fun to do. We should definitely plan it out.
anytime.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Alrighty.
See ya.
Peace out, guys.
Yeah. Bye.